everyone knows that once you have gun owners on a list, registration leads to gun confiscation.
Right.
That's the end goal of the Democrats. This is exactly what they want.
Hey guys, it's Antonia Okafor-Cover here, and I'm here for Gun Owners of America. And today I have a very special guest. I have Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Antonia. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so glad to finally meet you. So many people know you as MTG. I don't know, maybe you don't like that. Maybe you prefer the Marjorie Taylor Greene, but it's so great to have someone with initials on our side, fighting for our side.
We're on the good side.
Yes, on the good side. Yes.
I'll be the 3 initials on the good side.
Yes, I love it. We need it. And we need you, and we need people who are standing up for the Second Amendment, especially in days like this. We have an administration that is very anti-Second Amendment. And so I am so glad that we are able to talk to you today about the Second Amendment Preservation Act, which is H.R. 993.
Yes.
Can you talk more about that and this great bill that you just introduced not too long ago?
Yes, I'm very proud of it. So this is a bill that does exactly what our Second Amendment does. This bill protects our Second Amendment in every single way because it cuts off all federal funding to gun control.
Okay.
This is what the Democrats want. We constantly hear it from them. For years we have been hearing it, and it gets more extreme and extreme and extreme.
Right.
All they want to do is move towards completely confiscating America's guns. And we as women, right, we are some of the most blessed women in the world to have the right to bear arms. So many women in other countries, extreme dangers, maybe the type of governments they live in, they have no way of protecting themselves, and these are people in other countries. I mean, imagine Koreans would love to have gun rights. You know, there's all these people all over the world that would love to have gun rights, so their governments can't run them over. That's what our Second Amendment is for.
Absolutely.
But no, the Democrats, who are showing exactly who they are with the extreme radical agenda that they're shoving through so fast, are showing that they're truly a tyrannical government, and they really want to take away our guns.
Absolutely. And tyrannical government is what the Second Amendment is all about, right?
Yeah.
Is to make sure that we, the people, are able to protect ourselves against a tyrannical government, an oppressive government.
Yes.
And so you were talking about the funding aspect. So can you talk more about, that's a key central part of this bill. It's very easy, actually, a pretty short bill, because it just focuses on, like you said, defunding essentially things like the ATF. Right?
Yes.
Defunding any type of federal, let's just say, enforcement of any type of gun control. Can you tell us how that is going to be central to this bill?
Absolutely. So every type of gun control, it costs money in order to follow through with it. So the ATF, for example, it costs money for the ATF to run as an entity. Defunding the ATF takes away that entity. So defunding any type of regulatory agency that would crack down on gun owners ends that agency. And so taking away the money means that they can't enforce gun control. And that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to preserve our Second Amendment, is take away the money that is funding the gun control.
Right. Defund the ATF. So many people have been saying that for a long time, and it's so refreshing to have someone to actually, go and actually defund the ATF.
Well, these are the games that need to stop. The Democrats just constantly come up with more bills and more laws that they want to pass to truly take away our gun rights. And here's the deal. Second Amendment says shall not be infringed.
Very easy.
And so that's why I'm so proud of the Second Amendment Preservation Act. It truly does that. It stops them from infringing on our gun rights.
Right. It's clear and simple. And so that's why any gun rights bill should be clear and simple, like this one is. To exactly take away gun control at every level, which it shouldn't be at any level. And so thank you so much for that. And then also, I just wanted to talk more about, like, what, so many people know you as this outspoken, passionate person. And, just as another woman who is just admires you and looks up to you, what would you say is the driving factor, that common denominator for you that gives you that passion and strength to keep telling people the truth?
I am truly proud to be an American woman. And I love our country, and I love my life. And I believe I've had the greatest life because of our freedoms and because of our Constitution. and because we're all equal in this country and we're given the ability to pursue happiness. We're guaranteed that right. And I can't unsee the dangers that I see coming from the Democrat Party. I can't unsee what their agenda will do to my life in the future, but more importantly, to my children's lives. And you know what drove me to run for Congress was the first 2 years under President Trump, the Republican Party failed us so badly. We controlled the House, we controlled the Senate, and we had President Trump in there who had a pen in hand ready to sign into law all of the things that he had campaigned on, America First policies, and that the American people were screaming for. And I've been a business owner for 20 years. My husband and I both, we know how to get the job done out in the field. We know how to serve our customers. We know how to take care of our employees. We know how to raise our children. And we have dotted every I, crossed every T, paid our taxes, and followed all the rules. But then here's a government that's just failing us continually. And most of the time, it's Republicans who are failing. We know who the Democrats are. They tell us straight to our face. Their radical agenda, we completely oppose it. But when we have Republicans that don't follow through and do the things that they tell us they're going to do, like protect our Second Amendment rights, these are important issues. But when Republicans fail, that's when I decided, okay, maybe we just need regular people there who I'm not impressed with Washington, D.C. And, so I decided to run for Congress, and I'm not here I have got plenty of friends here, but they didn't vote for me. I got voted to come here by the people back home, and we got a lot of gun owners in my district. Yeah. And we care about our rights. And so I'm coming here and I'm following through and doing everything I said I would do. And this is why I have the support that I have. And I am begging and pleading for more people to join me. It's not about me. It's about doing the job that we should do here. And we have to save our country.
So those people who have given you flack for being very vocal about your very strong stances on these takes, what would you say to those people who don't like the strong stances?
Well, I think they don't like the truth. And, here's the deal. Truth hurts. I know every time when I needed to hear the truth and I didn't want to hear it, boy, it was hard to listen to. But the truth is exactly what we need in this country, and we haven't had it for a long time. The media lies to us every day. They spin the story that they want to tell. They've done it on me over and over. They did it to President Trump for 4 years, and they continue to do it. They do that to anyone they don't like. And so I think America is desperate for the truth. It's amazing that when I argue back on the Equality Act, and I'm saying that God created us male and female, and in his image he created us, that was the most offensive thing that the Democrats could possibly hear. And when I told a story about a woman who was stabbed to death in her driveway by her deranged ex-boyfriend while she was waiting on her gun permit, she was following these laws, waiting for this background check, and this waiting period in New Jersey, in her state. This woman who had a security system and a video camera outside her home, and she got stabbed to death, murdered in her driveway, and her security system video camera caught her death. And that's how they knew who killed her ex-boyfriend. When I talk about that on the floor, they're without excuse. And so what I have to say that with anyone that's having a hard time with me refusing to back down is, well, that's okay if it hurts your feelings, because oftentimes if you're not in line with the truth, it does hurt your feelings. But you'll be okay. We need to get back to our principles. We need to focus hard on our country and our own people. And that's every single one of us. And so I'll be defending everyone's rights and everyone's freedoms, and that goes for everyone across the aisle, Democrat, Republican, or who cares.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a good thing to do.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman Green. And for those who, if you were to say one action, what do you think that people should be doing right now if they can just have one takeaway from this?
I keep telling people, do not give up. A lot of people are down right now. They're worried. They're concerned. They're just complaining on social media, on and on about what the Democrats are doing. They're just outraged constantly. Here's what I'm saying. I stepped out of my awesome, fabulous, wonderful life and ran for Congress, and I'm giving up a lot to be here. So if you're someone at home, hey, start volunteering. Get in there at the election board. Get a part-time job there. Work in there or volunteer on elections. Run for the school board. Stop the woke progressive agenda in our children's schools. Get in there and get on the school board and fight back. City council, county commissioner, you name it. Go on up the board. Don't take no for an answer, but we have to turn our outrage and our complaining into action. So we need Republican voters to stop with the excuses of I'm too busy or I have to work, and you got to stop complaining and start becoming Republican activists, because that's how we're going to save our country when we get off the couch and get into action.
Right, and support people like you, MTG, of course.
Please. And I need help. Run for Congress and get up here.
We need people to call their congresswomen and tell them we need to be on board with things like the Second Amendment Preservation Act, which is HR 993. And I'm so thankful for you for joining me today and talking to me more about the Second Amendment Act. So one thing I'm really, really excited about is that that not only are you obviously a woman, right? The left loves to bring up that fact. When you're a woman, you're a congresswoman, but if you think on the right, then therefore you're against feminism, right?
Yeah.
But if anything, like I always tell people, is that gun rights are women's rights.
Oh, so
and
true.
like you were talking about, like my parents are from Nigeria, and they're from a place where they didn't have the advantage of having a government that actually protected their Second Amendment right. So when you talk about protecting those in the women, when you talk about protecting women like that woman that was unfortunately harmed because of an ex-boyfriend, or I don't know if you know about Nikki Gosser's story.
I know Nikki. She's a friend of mine.
Okay,
yes.
and the fact that she's also, she's an advocate for the Second Amendment because of things like that. You are protecting women. You are protecting Americans. You're protecting human rights, period.
Absolutely.
So I just want to thank you so much, woman to woman, thanking you for protecting us and protecting our rights.
We have to. We have too much to lose.
Thank you so much. Well, I will talk to you again later.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me today.
I appreciate it. We'll definitely do it again.